Am I the a-hole for telling my ex-fiancé's best friend that he needs to live with a negative impact it played in my ex-fiancé's misery? I, 30 female, am here because the people I'm close to that I would usually go for advice are a little too close to home and biased towards me to give a neutral perspective. I'm going to give some backstory for context first, but if there are more questions, I'll try my best to clear things up. Backstory. I was engaged to my college boyfriend Mike, 30 male, and was really happy. What I wasn't happy about is his friendship with a childhood friend, David, 30 male. The guy was an obnoxious and often rude jerk who likes to play pranks on people. It seems like the more inappropriate or the more people tell him to not prank them, he'll take it as a challenge and either target them more or pretend that he's about to prank them just so he can watch people be anxious over it. I couldn't stand a guy but was willing to tolerate him. And when Mike said that David would be his best man, I was against it. And we got into a fight, but I relented. During the objections part, David spoke up and said that he couldn't let his friend marry a cheater. He even went as far as to hire someone to be my fake affair partner. I ran away in tears as David left. I barricaded myself in the bathroom, bawling my eyes out and refusing to let anyone in. I could hear Mike knocking on the door saying that David confessed to it just a prank and that he knows I wouldn't cheat. But that didn't make me feel better. I heard my sister and best friend Jane, 31 female, calling out to me, so I crawled out and left. I called my parents and grandparents apologizing for the whole scene and told them that the wedding was off and I planned to never speak to him again either. Fast forward a few months later and Jane confessed that before the wedding she had a one-night stand with David, was pregnant and going to keep the baby. She was so remorseful about the situation. And after I had my space, I told her that it would be okay and that I'm still her friend. Jane named me as the godmother of her son, Tommy, 7 male, and he's a little cutie. He calls me Auntie, and Mike, who David named as the godfather, Uncle Mike. I will say becoming a dad made David a better person. Although I'm never going to like him, and I guess Mike never got over me and David feels super guilty and wants us to get back together, but I have refused. When Tommy's birthday was coming up, David tried to use that as an excuse to get me and Mike to talk to each other, but I shut that down. I even opted out last minute with an illness excuse. David then sent me a long text about how disappointing it was for not being able to put my past aside for Tommy's benefit, and I took exception to that. We went back and forth a little, and I told David that Mike had me over her, and that he just needs to live with his role in any negative impact that he cancelled wedding cousin Mike. David claims he's just trying to fix things between us, and that I'm being petty. I thought nothing of it at first, but now I'm starting to wonder, am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Commenting again because I truly don't understand how people are thinking she's the a-hole for cutting Mike off. Clearly Mike has been turning a blind eye / enabling his friend's behavior the entire time. She didn't want him as the best man because she feared this exact situation. But Mike said F it and made him best man anyway, putting him in a position in the wedding party to achieve ultimate damage. Her future husband ignored her concerns, thoughts, and feelings, and probably had been doing so whenever she brought up David's behavior and simultaneously enabled David's lunatic-level actions. Why the fresh living hell would Opie want to be married to that? This. Literally this. Also, Mike is still friends with David, so go figure whose side Mike took yet again. Thank you, David, for once again interfering in my relationships. You couldn't let it rest for one day. Instead, had to humiliate me in front of all my friends and family. Mike chooses to laugh with you at my expense and pain. May I learn to shut the heck up in the future? Not stay home. David wants a time machine. Those don't exist, so he's resorting to shifting the blame of this partially onto you by saying you are being petty for not giving this a chance. The fact is, he did what he did. One of the most outrageous, messed up things I have ever read, by the way. Your ex also did what he did, which was 1, ignored your concerns about David at your wedding and fought with you until you relented, and 2, refused to hold David accountable for his actions every step of the way. Not only was he invited to the wedding, he was made best man, and clearly your ex did not call him out on his behavior before the wedding at any point either. David acted like an immature, cruel lunatic under the guise of pranking. Although he's apparently improved with fatherhood, he still cannot respect boundaries. And when he doesn't get what he wants, he shifts blame to guilt you into doing what he wants. not stay home, and frankly, he is the absolute worst. And your ex is an enabling moron for letting it get this far. Of course, you don't want to be married to that. Not stay home. You should have gone to the birthday and yelled, "He is not the father. Jane cheated." See how funny he found it. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend's friend who is staying at our place that she can leave? My girlfriend's best friend is staying with us as she is just visiting from out of town. I know she has always resented me a bit for whatever reason. I honestly don't know why, but I've learned to just stay out of her way. When my girlfriend is around, we will talk, but I don't think we've ever even had a conversation when she isn't around us. She's staying for a week and it's been relatively fine. Literally 0 problems the first day. I like to take showers every night after the day is over, which is where the problem began. Our guest washroom is out of service at the moment. The bathtub works, but it's dusty as heck and no one has touched that thing in who knows how long. So we all have to share the master bed's washroom in the meantime. I was taking a shower, and when I came out, she ran in and accused me of using her loofah because it was wet. I had no words. I didn't even realize it was in there until she made a fuss about it. She smelled the freaking loofah and then smelled my body wash and said it smelled the same. I don't even know what to say besides I didn't use it. She said that even then it weirded her out that I was showering while her loofah was in there. My girlfriend tried mediating, told her to take out the loofah while I shower even. But she told me to use the bath in the broken washroom. And I said no because it's dirty as heck, and I've had to spend at least an hour to get all the grime out of that thing. My girlfriend and her BFF had a talk in a separate room, and when she came back, she just asked me to hold off on showering for a week. LMFAO. Yeah, right. I told her BFF she can leave if I make her feel so uncomfortable. And she did. She left and packed her things. My girlfriend was mad at me. She said that she was our guest. And yes, maybe she was being a bit too much, but it was valid to be uncomfortable about the loofah situation. She tried calling her friend, and she didn't pick up once. What the heck was I supposed to do in that situation? Yeah, maybe I could have cleaned out the bathtub in the guest washroom, but I don't understand why I have to inconvenience myself that much just to make her friend happy. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. Her friend is insane to literally smell your body and the loofah. WTF? I have no idea how that could make someone uncomfortable. It sounds like she just seriously doesn't like you, unfortunately. She didn't actually smell my body, lol. Just my body wash. She could have stolen some of your body wash and then used the whole loofah thing as a premeditated attempt to get you into the crappy bathroom. And her not answering her BFF makes me suspect this even more. Like she's mad her girlfriend didn't white knight for her. Not stay home. What the hell? Does your girlfriend and her BFF not know that water splashes? And when the shower is on, everything in the shower gets wet. Not showering for a week to appease a guest is a ridiculous suggestion. But I think you should take her up on it anyway and see how she appreciates sleeping next to a person with 7-day-old body odor. Also, the steam from Opie washing himself with his body wash would explain why the loofah smelled similar. Not stay home. The girlfriend's BFF sounds unhinged. Who expects someone not to shower for a week? She's not the queen and it's your home, guest or no guest. Right? Like, seriously, what the heck is wrong with a BFF? You don't just stroll up to your friend's house, be invited in as a guest, then start telling them how to do things or what they can do and when they can do it. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to buy my girlfriend's friend tampons? My girlfriend invited her friends to the house for some girls' time last Sunday. In order not to disturb them, I spent my afternoon outside with the dogs to give the ladies space and privacy. When I texted my girlfriend that I was going home, my girlfriend called me and asked me to buy one of her friend a box of tampons on my way back. I reminded her if her friend needs it, she could give her some of her own tampons, as I recall there were plenty in the house. But girlfriend insisted on me buying a brand new box specifically for her friend. I could hear laughter and some chattering in the background and realized that her friends were nearby listening to our conversation and making fun of it. I asked if her friend set her up for this, and she insisted it wasn't, that I could just buy a box of tampon for her friend like I do for her. I heard more chattering and giggling, and felt like a target of some sort of prank, a social experiment, or TikTok. I then stood my ground and said that I am going home. The dogs are hungry, and I won't be buying any tampons on my way back. Things were a little awkward when I reached home, and later my girlfriend said I embarrassed her in front of her friends, that a decent guy should not be embarrassed to buy tampons. I told her I wouldn't mind buying for her, but I see no need to play along with her friends to prove that I am a decent guy. Am I the a-hole for my actions? If she actually needed them, you said you'd do it so. Not the a-hole. Pressuring you to waste your time to do so for a friend in a clear social experiment/weird flex is uncomfortable. It sounds childish. The girlfriend also lied about sharing the call with her friends. They're immature and shallow. Jumping on top post. Maybe I'm just tired today and I know I'll fall into the Reddit stereotype, just break up with him/her. But seriously, the immaturity/shallowness is strong on this one. If you already had issues with her filming pranks and posting on TikTok and now doing that with her friends, she's just not ready to be in a relationship. Imagine this girl getting pregnant by accident. Just do yourself a favor and move on. Not stay home. You are under no obligation to make your girlfriend look good to her giggling lemmings. I'm female and deal with it monthly and wouldn't have bought them for her. I also would never ask my husband to buy them for a friend just to prove he would. I'm a husband. I've bought them for my wife's friend because I was in the vicinity of a shop and she needed them, and she and my wife don't use the same ones. I hope he doesn't even know that's why she was asking. But if my wife asked me to pick some up just to prove that I would, I'd do that? Because why would I have a problem with that? Seriously, what's the arguments for why it's an unreasonable request to stop by a shop on his way home? Honestly, it may not be the action itself that he has a problem with as he stated. It may just be the fact that the OP's partner was trying to test them for no good reason, other than to save face in front of her friends. I think the ask itself was reasonable until it was made clear that it wasn't for necessity but rather for show. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for itemizing my household bills and demanding my significant other pay his fair share, now that his 3 teenage daughters have moved in? I, 33 female, have been with my boyfriend, 46 male, for almost 3 years. He moved in with me about 6 months after we started dating. Things were going quite well. He does not work as he is a disabled veteran and collects a pension. I work a decently paying job, but make about $60,000 more per year than he does. He would give me a few $100s here and there towards food/bills when I would ask, and I paid my mortgage and the rest of the bills. He was paying about $1,200 a month in child support for his 3 girls who lived with their mom, now 15 female, 17 female, and 18 female. I have 2 girls, now 10 female and 13 female, who live with me 60% of the time and live with their dad the rest of the time. About 6 months ago, his girl's mom decided she couldn't take care of them any longer. She had ruined their family home. No running water, septic was destroyed, holes in the floor, 5-gallon buckets used as toilets, etc. It was awful to discover, and at no point when the girls visited did they share this info with me. I don't know how he didn't know what was happening, but he says he didn't. At that time, the courts decided the girls needed to live with their father, who lives with me obviously. I knew this would be a tough transition for all involved. So for the last 6 months, I've continued to pay for everything and has given me $500 a month towards their support, food, bills, etc. Their mother has contributed nothing. Upon discovering that I was getting a bit behind with finances, I itemized my spending and determined that my costs have gone up by about $1,700 a month since they came here. Just regular bills, which doesn't include Christmas presents, clothes, salon trips, vacations, going out to eat, etc. that I have also paid for. I showed this to my boyfriend and asked that he started paying me an amount closer to the cost of the spending, at least the $1,200 he was paying in child support before they came here. He became very angry, accusing me of being money hungry and insinuating he was taking advantage of me. Then he told me he would give me $750 per month towards bills. I expressed that if he felt he could support 4 people for less than what I was asking him to contribute on his own, then he should do that. He says I should be okay because it's for our family. I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. And what makes this feel worse is that I discovered my boyfriend's ex-wife also was dating a younger person with a good job, and that guy is now suing her for taking advantage of him. It almost hits too close to home. But I do love my boyfriend and his daughters, and I feel like if he should contribute more to the support of his kids when I'm paying the bulk of our expenses. So am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. You are being used. Cut off your financial support of your boyfriend and his kids. Stop buying the groceries, paying their personal expenses, cell phones, car insurance, etc., and don't cover his/their debts. Your boyfriend needs to cover his and his kids' share of expenses for accommodations, utilities, groceries, and other shared household expenses. This means that he should pay at least half of rent/mortgage costs and 2/3 of utilities and groceries. You may need to stop buying their groceries if he won't pay you his share. You need to stop paying anything towards his/their luxuries. Don't pay for their spas, vacations, fast food, transportation, etc. If their parents won't pay, the kids can't have those luxuries. If your boyfriend refuses to contribute, seriously reconsider having him live with you at all. Exactly this. And if I were you, I would start the eviction process. I know that sounds harsh, but you are being financially mistreated, and you need to get your abuser out of your home. Not stay home. Also, I feel like Opie needs to look into legal ways to protect herself. They aren't married, so she should be able to just kick them out. Not stay home. He's completely using you. Start by not paying for all the extras. Clothes, salon trips, vacations, eating out. He can't pay those costs. If he refuses, I'd ask him to move out. Don't let yourself be taken advantage of. You've been generous enough. Honestly, those aren't even included in the figures for the bills. I did those things because these girls needed some positivity, and their mother was gone. But the totality of it is weighing on me heavily after having a conversation with him about money. Not the a-hole for asking him to pay his fair share. You will be an a-hole if you do not prioritize your own finances and needs of your own children. Every dollar he mooches from you is a dollar that isn't making your future and your children's lives more secure. Love isn't enough. I'm very much starting to agree. $1,200 child support was insufficient for the mom, hence the living conditions. How much does it make a month? I'm guessing literally every last dime of his check should go to the household. Don't take down your household to support his. Your kids will be sad and you will too after 10 years.